Hello everyone, welcome to our preview of the Browns at the Ravens Sunday at 1 p.m. in Baltimore, and all kinds of storylines going on in this game. First of all, Joe Flacco, 13-1 against the Cleveland Browns. What gives, Tom?
He's a good quarterback, and he's been surrounded for years by a terrific supporting cast, although that supporting cast has really kind of changed the last 1 year or two. Also, they're missing some guys. So it's going to be a little different Ravens team than we've seen in recent years.
Yeah, you know what? They've got Steve Smith is supposedly out, although Mike Pettin doesn't necessarily believe that. Their rookie receiver, Brashad Perriman, he's out. So they traded for Chris Givens. I think the guy that the Browns are going to have to watch in this game is Justin Forsett. They need to be able to stop the run.
Yeah, there's no question, and that's kind of how they won last week. They really committed themselves to the run for really the first time this season. I know it's still a young season, but they really committed to the run. They're going to have to do that against the Browns, and why wouldn't you, with the way the Browns have struggled to stop the run, not only against early this season, but last year the Browns really struggled against the run against the Ravens in particular.
And when you look at the Ravens, Mike Pettin says this is the best offensive line that they have faced to date. So this will be a challenge for a defensive line that could barely get to Phillip Rivers with 3 starters out.
Yeah, I think Mike Pettin this week said that really the challenge is on the front 7, and we're talking about not only just getting after the quarterback, but again stopping the run. If the Browns can go in there and remember last year they were leading in that game in the fourth quarter. So I'm sure they would take the same type of scenario where they could have a lead going into the fourth quarter. It's possible.
Speaking of challenges, and we've talked a little bit about this before, but when they do challenge the front 7, one guy they are in particular looking for to step up, and that is Danny Shelton. They need him to show some things. He's supposed to be the next Haloti Ngata, according to Paul Kruger.
Yeah, it's tough. It's a tough league. He's a lot of double teams. He still wants to have a little bit more presence in the backfield and get a little bit more push up field. The coaches have been happy with him, but you even heard today, I think they're taking the training wheels off a little bit. They may be expecting a little bit more. Jim O'Neill was saying on Thursday that that's something that he would like to see, a bigger push. Let's see him pop on the video, I think is how he described it.
It's so weird to go in and play a Ravens team that doesn't have Terrell Suggs and Haloti Ngata and Ed Reed, the names, these Browns killers that they've been over the years. But they still do have a very good defensive front. Yeah,
and also you got a guy like Elvis Dumerville. I mean, they can still get after it, and there's no question about it. I mean, the Browns are coming off a really good performance offensively, but this is a really good defense that they're going to see. It's going to be a tough test.
It's always close when you get these two teams together, even though Joe Flacco is 13-1 against the Browns. He said, and rightfully so, that these are some of the toughest games that he plays in, and I'm sure it will be more of the same. Joe Hayden, now he's going to try to play, but he still has that broken finger, Tom. Yeah.
I mean, their secondary is really going to be stretched thin. We talked about yesterday about the idea they may not have Tayshaun Gibson either. So it's really going to be a tough test for that secondary.
Yeah, so lots of ins and outs. It's very inconsistent in that secondary right now. K'Waun Williams back. Joe Hayden will probably play. Tayshaun Gibson probably will not play. So that's one thing to watch. I'm sure Joe Flacco will try to exploit those guys because of that situation. So we will have it all right here for you on cleveland.com.